And we're live. Hello from wonderfully sunny Wiltshire on this Thursday. It's 2 p.m. in the UK, it's 9 a.m. Eastern, and we're about to go live on Amazon Live. If you're joining me, please do say hello. If you want to join me on Amazon Live, click the link that is in the post text, and you can actually experience Amazon Live as we go over to OneStream, and OneStream is starting to receive the signal. It's done so. So I'm going to switch on Amazon Live and wait for Amazon Live to go green. And then I can actually preview and go live on Amazon. I love this technology. So I'm going live on Amazon, dashing back to the studio, and we've just made it. So I can take that card off full screen and say hello and welcome. Thursday, 2 p.m. in the UK and 9 o'clock on the east coast of America, and we're good to go. So technology's worked again. Just a reminder, I'm broadcasting from my BeLive studio to OneStream and then out from OneStream to several different places. So we're live today on LinkedIn. Hello, LinkedIn, for the third time today. Hello to YouTube. Hello to my personal profile, where we're broadcasting for the first time in a while. And hello to the Live Video Hub with Stephen. So those are the places we're actually broadcasting to today. And we're also broadcasting to Amazon Live. And hello, Amazon Live. I can tell that we're actually live. We do know how many people watch us on Amazon Live. We don't know who you are. So you're anonymous unless you comment. If you're enjoying the show, if you've got a question about anything in the carousel, then please do comment. Now, a little bit about what's going to go on today. Let's start with the top right-hand corner. The top right-hand corner. This is live. This is my demonstration area, and in there you can see an Echo Dot. You can see an Anker 4 USB TP-Link. My two plants, one of which will flower in 2022. Second might do. You've got the Aftershokz earbuds down the carousel. You've got the Traildober HD77. You've got the Audio-Technica microphone. And behind that, you've got the gimbal. And just a reminder to everybody, I actually live near to Stonehenge. Okay. The lights will come on in that section when we use it later. So that's my second camera. That's the HubSpot Tiny camera, which is down the carousel. So we're two cameras today, possibly three later, who knows. Next, I'm going to show you a bit about where I actually live. So I'm going to put that full screen. And this is Devizes in England. We are 93 miles away from London, and this is one of our favourite country walks. We are close to Stonehenge. So we manage to visit 4 or 5 times a year, Stonehenge. If it's on your bucket list, then do drop in. We're only 30 minutes away. It's a beautiful place to visit, very spiritual place. And I just love going there. And it's got a visitor centre, which is state of the art because they rebuilt the whole thing. In Devizes, we have parks, and the population about 23,000. We've got a parks department which looks after the parks. This is Hillwith Park, which has got tennis courts, children's playground, and ability to walk around. It's got an aviary as well, and summer events are held here. Concerts, live concerts take place in the grounds. It's a beautiful place to actually visit. Next, this is our shopping centre. Now, it's not your normal shopping centre. This is Devizes in England. So just let me see if I can put the title up so you know where I live and what we're talking about. And just a minute, let's add a title. I'm always building my set. And won't be a minute. No, not that way. This way. Okay, and this is the Devizes, and this is the main shopping street. And I caught it early in the morning when there was nobody about. Normally there are throwing crowds walking about, and you've got all sorts of shops there. You've got bakers, you've got opticians, you've got hairdressers, you've got butchers, a whole range of shops. And in addition to that, just off from the street we saw earlier, which is called the Britox, this is a small street which has blue plaques on the walls, because these are preserved buildings, and this dates from probably the 16th, 17th century. They're now residences, and looking up on the right-hand side, you can see the town hall. So this is all about where I am. And there's the church, which is just in front of the passageway we looked at. There are 5 churches in Devizes. And I want to take that off so you can see this properly. This is a man-built lake. You can see a church. If you squint, you can see a church in the background on the left-hand side, St. James's Church, which is our church. And then you've got this panoramic scene of wildfowl. And it is on some days as busy as it is on that picture. Town centre, we have a market in the town centre, and a farmer's market every Thursday, which we've just been to. We've got the most delicious Russian salad. This is the Courts Garden, which is nearby, and that's one of my favourite pictures. In fact, I'm showing you my favourite images. We do occasionally get snow, but very occasionally. We're headed towards 60 degrees or possibly 70 degrees next week, so take the jumpers off next week. We have an annual carnival which takes place where groups come from all around the county and far beyond, and it's led by the local schools, and it is quite an evening. There's even a confetti battle, which I might tell you about. So back to the beginning. So that's where I live, which is, just a reminder, Devizes in Wiltshire, about 93 miles away from London. Okay, so I'm broadcasting to you from the UK today. Okay, that's the thing, but I just want to show you around and give you a tour of where I do live. We'll be talking later in the broadcast about this, which is background removal software. When we talk about the Logitech C920X camera, there will be mention of this software because you get a 3-month license to it. We're going to start off though with this, and Marco Nova is a good friend of mine. You may have come across his broadcasts. Marco broadcasts from Portugal, and his guest was Daniel Sigmund. Marco talks a lot about Logitech equipment. We know Logitech for Logitech C920 and all the cameras that they do, but this is the first light they've done, and I'm going to talk about that just after I come back on screen, and I'm coming back on screen now. So I've got 2 cameras, so I'm going to switch the second camera off. Okay, I told you about Daniel, so I'll talk about Daniel in a moment. I'm going to hide the images. Show card, you're watching Lights Camera Action live from England. We're talking about webcams, audio gear, microphones, live video, and Fitbits. And this is broadcasting from BeLive. If you've got any questions about live broadcasting, then I am here to answer them. So I actually hide that, and we come back. So I'm going to hide that video because I'll show you that video later. And here we are. And if I go shrink myself, okay, so I'm going to shrink myself. Possibly, this may or may not work. Let's try that. Okay, let's try that. The thing I love about live video, and we are definitely live today on Amazon, is that occasionally things will go wrong, possibly in my show more than most, because I try to experiment with what I'm doing on screen. But I want to say thank you to Marco and to Daniel for introducing me to the Logitech Litra Glow light, which is down in the carousel, and there's a story behind it. There's a story about everything that I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to introduce you to the light without further ado. Okay, this is the Logitech Litra light that's down in the carousel. Now, a story about this light is that for 3 years I had softbox, one either side of me, shining onto the wall, and I sat bathed in reflected light. But the thing about a softbox is after 3 years, its fabric, it tends to fray. It was showing its age. A couple of bulbs needed replacing. So Angelica took a look and said, they are big, quite possibly, I'm not going to say which make it was, quite possibly ugly, and they should go. So I ditched the two big soft lights, okay, which were about a foot square. And I was without lights for 3 weeks. And then I saw the broadcast with Daniel and Marco, and I saw the Logitech Litra light. I saw Daniel demonstrate it on Amazon Live, and I thought, that's the light I want. Okay, so I click the link in the carousel, and if you do the same, you'll find out more information. I'm going to tell you about the light now, but you'll find out more information if you click the link. I just wanted something I've forgotten to do. Okay, welcome to the broadcast. This is a lights, camera, action with Stephen Healy, and you are watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England. And you've seen the photographs earlier, so you know roughly where I am and roughly what's going on around here. Okay, so Logitech Litra light. When you get it, they're at the box, and this is the. Just a minute, I'll be back. Let's try to put it to hand, but this is the box. The Logitech Litra light comes in. I've got two of them, and I'm going to show you because I can demonstrate one, and I can actually, what I think I should do now is to switch it on. Okay, you can quite possibly see me more clearly now. Okay, I'm sat in a room with no lights on, apart from now the Logitech Litra Glow. That's the only light that's lighting me. Now, take the cellophane off there, take the cellophane off the base. Okay, that's the unpacking over. There is nothing else. Now, the light itself, you can bend the light forward like so. So you can angle it, and you can choose your angle, and you can put it back up again. You can turn it to the left, and you can turn it to the right. So you can angle that light whichever direction you want. Now, mine is on top of my desk monitor. And if I go up, you can see that I can extend the light. It just ratchets up. Okay. And you can't possibly can't hear it ratcheting. But it's on my BenQ monitor, which is down the carousel. It's angled so. And I've put the shelf up, that shelf, little shelf there, that goes over the top of your monitor or your PC or Mac. Okay, now everything I'm going to talk about today is PC and Mac, unless I say explicitly otherwise. Okay, interchangeable. So I've got a light pointing down at me now. It's switched on. It's the Logitech Litra Glow, which is this one, and it's next to my Logitech Brio camera. So I've got two Logitech items, and it's shining down on me. Now it's not on the back of this. You've got some switches. Okay. Now, what I need to do, first of all, to show you this, is to actually plug it in. So I'm going to plug it in. Thank you for the comment. I'll be with you in a moment. Hopefully I can be heard. That's usually my problem. I've actually plugged it in. It's a USB-A to USB-C cable. Plugs into your computer. Now you must plug it directly into your computer or Mac in order for the next bit to work. Okay, but no, I can just switch it on manually. If I press the on button, and I've got the power connected with the cable, and the cable is supplied with it, so you don't need to go looking for USB cables. I've got a thing, I think it's been optimized for use with this, so there's no reason to go looking for another cable. The cable is supplied. And it goes over the top of your monitor, and you can lower it, and you can raise it as you wish. Okay. And on the back, you've got the on-off button, and then you've got two controls, one of which is for brightness, and the second one is for temperature. So with my soft boxes, I could switch them on, I could switch them off. That was it. With this light, there are 6 presets you can actually use. Okay. And you can control them using the buttons on the back. If you don't want to have this on your monitor, and I can understand why, then you can take a tripod, any tripod, there isn't one in the carousel today, unfortunately, and you can twist the light off its stand here, just twist, and then you can attach it through the thread, and it's then sitting on the tripod. Now, the thing about the tripod is that you can then place the tripod anywhere on your desking. So it is versatile. You can move the light, and you could vary the height of the tripod. Okay, so you could have a tripod yay high. Okay, but it is very flexible. Okay, now the light itself, we can control it with the controls on the back, but I can switch the light off just by sitting here and going like that. And I've gone dark, and I'm going light again. Now you notice that I didn't reach up to touch the light. I didn't reach up to touch the light because I'm using software. Software is called Logitech G Hub. Go to logitech.com site, search for Logitech Litra, download the software, and it controls your light. Okay, so let's take a look at the software that control this light. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to go for screen share, and hopefully, as I say, I tend to experiment, and this should work. Okay, we're good. So I'm going to show you now the software that's actually controlling my light. And if I go like that, there's the software. This is a piece of software called Logitech G Hub. I'm just basically, I'm going to take that off full screen, go side by side. So thank you to Daniel and to Marco. We can hide Daniel and Marco now. And I've got a comment coming in from Rome. And Rome is saying, hit the follow button, ask your questions in the chat. And thank you, Rome. Rome is a fellow live broadcaster, a fellow Amazon influencer broadcasting on Amazon Live. And you can catch Rome's show later today. I think he's live at 11 a.m. Eastern. Rome, if you want to pop a link in, please do. And when I finish my broadcast, I go and watch Rome. I watch quite a lot of Amazon Live broadcasts because you can learn so much. For me, I learn the different styles of presentation. Okay, and I occasionally make tweaks to mine. I think that's a good idea. I use that in my broadcasts. So Rome, thank you very much, and do check out Rome later. So we're talking about Logitech Litra Lite. I'm going to switch this one off. Okay, manually, so you can control it manually. But if it's plugged directly into your PC or Mac, you can control it with the software. And this is the said software. And I'm going to go side by side so that you can see us. Okay, so I'm controlling the software on my desktop. You download it from logitech.com, Logitech Litra Glow, and there you can see it. It's controlling one light. It is capable of controlling several lights, but I've only got the one actually plugged into my computer. Now, there are 6 presets as far as the lighting is concerned for different times of day. So if we go for the first one, this lighting effect is the first one. This is for early in the day. Okay, and it's bright. It is bright. As you'll see, this is the brightest that there is. Then I go to the second setting, and the second setting, I'm just controlling the software, is cozy daylight. So this is softer. And the whole thing about Logitech Litra Light is it's a soft light. It's not in your face. I've got the light on there, it's shining down, and it's highlighting me, but it's not affecting my sight at all. It's not dazzling me. No? Right, the third setting, and you may not notice the total difference. The differences may be subtle. This is mild. This is mild. Now, this is one of my favorite lightings any time of day. I love the way that it lights me. You've got the natural skin tones, and you've got a good replication of the actual color of the green screen behind me. And if I go back again, yeah, I'm just going to go to the next preset. As we go down, there are 6 presets, and this is Cozy Candlelight, and this is the one for later in the day. Okay, late night broadcasting, Cozy Candlelight sort of draws people in. Okay, very friendly light. You've got the 6 presets, 6, but there is a 7th which you can do yourself. Now, what I'm going to do is take myself off there. And if I go to the 7th preset, now this is nothing to do with Logitech. Logitech has nothing to do with this. I did this. Okay, so let's go to my preset. And as you can see, the preset that I've designed is much too bright. So I'm going to turn down the brightness. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to do. Okay, so I've got about midway and just slightly over. And the second thing I can do is I can change the temperature. And I'm going to take the temperature down a bit. Okay, and I'm still looking a bit red. So I'm going to go a bit further down. And that's pretty close to my natural skin tones. Okay, now, so 6 presets that Logitech give you with Logitech Litra Lite, and one additional preset that you can basically do yourself. You can control the brightness and the temperature until you're happy with how you're looking on camera. Now, lighting is important. Camera is important. We know. We're going to look at 3 cameras. Cameras are important. Microphones are important. I'm using the Elgato Wave 3 as my microphone. You'll find it down in the carousel. I'm live on Logitech Brio camera. You'll find that down in the carousel. I'm going to talk about both those. Lighting is important. Cameras, microphones, lighting. Those are the things you've got to get right. You've got to be comfortable on camera, and lighting is part of that. If you're too bright, people just will look away. If you're too dark, people won't be able to see you. So you do have to have some lighting. And just remind ourselves, if I switch the lighting off, then I go dark. Now, there's nothing wrong with dark. I've got the cameras trying to do a compensation, a light compensation, but I'm much better. At least my opinion is I'm much better when I'm actually lit properly. So let's have a look at the main features of the Logitech Litra. Now, first thing I should start with is its official name. I call it Logitech Litra Glow, but Logitech call it Logitech Litra Glow Premium LED Streaming Light. And it is a streaming light. It's been designed for us. It's been designed for streamers and gamers with us in mind. And the thing is that this light, you can have this light on side effects from having this light pointing down at you. It's made for gamers who broadcast for 8 to 10 hours at a time and is safe. Yeah. So that's its official title. Now I've got this crib sheet. The lighting is called TrueSoft. In other words, this is not a bright white light. This is using Logitech TrueSoft, which means you've got shades of lighting. Okay, so rather than my soft boxes, which are on and off, you've got on and off and everywhere in between. It's got an adjustable monitor mount. We've seen that you can actually extend it. You bring it down again. You can bend it forward. Okay, you put it over your monitor. You can take off this stand. You can put it onto a tripod. Okay, and next on that, it's got brightness and color temperature. We've seen that, and in addition to that, it's got a desktop app, which I've just shown you. Okay, so the app, you just go to logitech.com, download the app, and because you've got the light, it's free and it works on PC and Mac. To answer your questions. Okay, back to me. Next feature, okay, is this one. Natural skin tones. Talk about that. That you're actually looking like if you went and looked in a mirror, it's pretty close to what you'd actually see in the mirror. Yeah. It's safe for all day streaming, which I said earlier. It is. Okay, I stream for 2 hours at a time. I don't have freedom of light placement, top of your monitor, top of your PC, or on a tripod, and uses Logitech's free G-Hub software. Now, the software actually not only controls your light. If I go back one, it will control your Brio or any Logitech camera. So if you download this software, you've got the camera controls. And if I scroll across, I just want to go over here, go back to the light. So this software, Logitech G-Hub, built for gamers, been around for a long time, used by millions of gamers. They've added the Logitech Litra light to it, which means that we could take advantage of everything that the gamers had for ever so long. Okay, so that's the Logitech Litra light, and it is, well, I've got two, so I love the light. It does light properly. It's not obtrusive. It doesn't blare or glare or get in your eyes. It can be on, and you can be broadcasting on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, and you'll be seen clearly. Okay, and that camera is lighting me. This is a personal light, and it works. It just simply works. Okay, so I'm going to put that down. And basically, I want to say thank you to Rome for the comment. And the next thing we're going to do is go to the first camera. We're going to be looking at 3 cameras today. If you're looking for a camera and you want, I'm going to give you an overview of the camera. I'm going to show you some software in relation to the camera that you can use. I'm going to tell you what it can do. I'll tell you what it can't do. And I'll give you my honest opinion about everything. If you've got a question about anything that we show in the carousel or about live broadcasting in general, please do ask. Okay, the only people who can see your comments are myself and people watching live. After this broadcast, all the comments disappear. If you're enjoying what you see, and I hope you are, then you want to see me again, then just press the follow button, which is a win-win situation, because if you look up the screen, you'll see a following tab. And if you press the follow button on this broadcast, then you will be able to watch me anytime. You can watch me live, you can watch replays, you'll never lose me. I'll always be in your following tab. What you're actually doing is building your own television channel, your own Amazon Live television channel with all your favorite broadcasters on, and you can go and see their last shows. Or if they're live, it will show them live. Yeah. So rather than setting up reminders everywhere, all you need to do is to go to if you follow somebody, go to the following tab and you see all the broadcasts. You can follow anybody and everybody. Now, I've got to be honest here. I follow about 250 Amazon Live broadcasters, and they're all in my following tab. And when I'm not broadcasting live, I go over and I catch they're there to show, or if I'm lucky, I'm hoping to be lucky with Rome later, I catch Rome live. Yeah, it's your own television channel on Amazon Live. We are all independent broadcasters. We are here to help and advise. We're a free service, totally free. The items in the carousel, some of the items in the carousel will have a special price. And if there is a special price, I'll let you know. That special price stays whilst I'm live. As soon as I stop being live, then you're back to the normal Amazon.com pricing. So as live broadcasters, as Amazon insiders, we have benefits to actually watching our shows. You could find yourself a bargain. Okay, so let's carry on. And I'm going to talk about a camera next. Now, it's down the carousel. It's the Logitech C920X. Okay. This is Logitech C920X. This is my Logitech C920X. Yeah. Made by Logitech. And I've had this particular camera for, I can't do it. I've had this camera for 6 years. Yeah. Back in 2015, 2016, a whole host of us, about 300 or 400 of us, were actually broadcasting on a site called Blab. This is before Facebook Live. Facebook Live came out in 2016. And we were broadcasting on Blab, and people came to watch us in their hundreds and comments and everything. And that's where a show called Blabbing for Britain was born. Over 6 years ago, in episode 323, which we did this morning. Broadcasting live together as a team. We're all firm friends now. All right, okay, I digress. But we knew that we could broadcast on Facebook Live, and broadcasting on Facebook Live, you want to up your game. Yeah, you want to have the best picture and the best sound you can have. Okay, the better the picture, the better the sound, the more people will stay. Okay, this is all about retaining viewers. If my sound was bad, and hopefully it's not, then you would scroll to the next thing, and that's human nature. Okay, you can still listen to me while scrolling, providing my sound is good. Now I've got to thank the Elgato Wave 3 microphone, which you'll meet later, which is on my desk. It's about 2 hands away from me. But we wanted to up our game, and to up our game, we needed an external camera. And the external camera we all chose was this, the Logitech C920X. Now, Logitech C920X is used by millions of people around the world. It is an ideal first camera. It's an ideal gift to yourself, an ideal gift to a friend or to family. Anybody who's starting live broadcasting, anybody who's on Zoom and using their internal camera, if they get an external camera, then the quality, there is a difference in quality, total difference in quality. Okay, so you get your camera, you take it out of the box, you find you've got a camera and you've got a USB plug, which you plug into your PC or Mac. Okay, so that's why I can't switch this camera on, because it's not plugged in. You have the lens in the middle, which has got a 78-degree field of view. Other cameras later have got a wider field of view. This is 78. It's 720 or 1080p as far as broadcasting is concerned. P stands for pixels. The higher the number, the clearer the picture. Yeah. So if I was broadcasting to you at 1080p now, you'd be able to see me more clearly. I would look, well, you'd just be able to see clearly. Simple as that. So 720 1080p. This is brilliant camera for Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch and Zoom, and it works out of the box. I've had this 6 years. I don't know if I've said that before, probably have. The model that's down the carousel at the moment, though, is not 6 years old. This underwent a redesign, and I'll show you the date in a moment. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. Let's go over to my crib sheet. If I go to my crib sheet, I can tell you the main features. The thing is, when you're live, yeah, and I'm broadcasting live now, no script. It's all ad-libbed, which is why I can answer any question that you've got, because I can just break in and carry on. Basically, I have crib sheets at the side of me, agendas, and they've got the main features. So when I'm telling you about a product, I can actually go to my crib sheet and show it on screen. So this is Logitech C920X. Okay, and X stands for extra. I'll explain and show you what the extra is shortly. Okay, so you're going to find out. This is different from the C920. This is a C920X. It's full high definition, 1080p, 30 frames per second. We normally broadcast at 30 frames per second. Okay, if you're going via OBS or vMix, then you could go higher frames, but in general, the software that we're using is 30 frames per second. The higher the frame rate, the better the quality of the video. Simple equation. You've got the 2 stereo microphones, which are omnidirectional, which means that they can pick up the sound that's all around you. Okay, now you can get, I'm using today a program called Crisp.ai, and that removes the omnidirectional bit, and the only thing you can hear is me. If I say, Alexa, what time is it? Alexa has just told me that it's 9:34 a.m. You didn't hear that, and you didn't hear that because this microphone and XSplit cut out everything apart from my voice. Yeah, okay. Onwards and upwards. High definition light correction. If I switch my Logitech Litra light off, yeah, then I go dark. The camera will try and compensate, and then I switch the light back on because I'm a firm believer that you should have lighting. The next in my aide-memoire is advanced capture software. I'm going to show you the software that controls all Logitech cameras when we look at our next Logitech camera. Okay, so I am going to show you how to control this camera, in fact, any Logitech camera. It's got a low light setting, which you just mentioned. It's got 78 degrees field of view. Okay, that's how wide it can see. And I'm just going to go through what's on my list. I don't want to forget anything. And I did say that the camera that's down in Carousel was actually released in March 31st, 2020. Okay, so you're not getting a 6-year-old camera. The technology was revisited in 2020. And in addition to that, this is basically where we've got to. This camera, Logitech C920X, has 3 months license to XSplit VCam background removal software included in the price. Now, I've been using XSplit VCam since January 2019. In my mind, it's the best background removal software there is. Now, I'm going to explain to you how background removal software works. To do that, I need the help of a YouTube video, which I'm going to bring on screen. Okay, myself off full screen. And we've looked at Logitech Litra Lite, so I can stop sharing that. Okay, and I can go picture in picture here. So this is the software that's actually included in the camera purchase. You'll get 3 months use of this software. This is how all background removal software is, and I made this video for XSplit specifically. Okay, so let's take that off screen. Okay, so that's going off screen, he said. Okay, I'm going to put it full screen. No, I'm going to put that full screen. Okay, I'm going to put that full screen. I'm going to turn my microphone off and press play on the video. And this is exactly how background removal works, and it's included in the Logitech C920. He's here to give you an overview of XSplit VCam, how it works. Background removal tool I've been using since January 2019, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now, the image behind me is one of Salisbury Cathedral, and the acid test of any background removal tool is that you still have 10 fingers with little webbing between them. Okay, so that test passed. Second is the outline of your body. Those are the things to look for when you're looking at a green screen, the ability to actually move about. So let's take a look at the software itself, and this is the XSplit VCam program. Okay, now you notice the top there, it says original. This is me. This is also me. So this is how I look normally. Now, first stage is to actually remove the background. So let's remove the background by pressing the button, and I get background's gone. Okay, prove that if I go here, background has disappeared. Okay, so the next step is to select a background to go in place, and you can do that just by clicking an image. You'll get a different background. Okay, that's it. That's very colorful. Now, just a warning, you need to make sure that the image at the top is not too light. Okay, what you don't want is to have an image too light at the top. If you try it, you'll see what I mean. Okay, now XSplit VCam is an external program which you download from XSplit, and it sits on your computer and you can use it in this way. Okay, so over to one of my favorite backgrounds. So I'm just switching background. Now, if I go to here, you can actually see that I can get backgrounds from several sources. I can upload a media file. Okay, and I'm going to upload a media file. I'm going to go on my hard drive to artwork and to reduced. Okay, and I'm going to bring up this image, and that's it. That's how easy it is to take an image from your hard drive and bring it on screen. Second thing you can do is you can run a YouTube video. Now I can show you a sample of this. If I go down here, we'll see in a moment, hopefully a YouTube video, and you can have a video as your backdrop. I've got so many backdrops. Okay, you can have a video as your backdrop. Go to YouTube, get the URL, come back to XSplit VCam, put the URL in, that's it. And you can have a moving video behind you. You don't have any sound on the video, but you can have it playing behind you whilst you're live. And this is a way to amaze fellow Zoom users to have a moving image behind you. There is just two caveats. One, it's got to be a public video. If it's your own video, that's not a problem. If it's somebody else's video, they have to have given permission for it to be embedded. That's the setting that everybody has to make. If you get a video into your XSplit VCam, doesn't work, then simply go on to the next one. Okay. Do acknowledge the video using the next place you can get images from. You can have a web page as your background. Okay, any web page. By default, web pages are public. If you just acknowledge the web page you're actually showing, then that's the best way to actually do it. Finally, you can go to a website. Let's go down here. You can go to a website called unsplash.com. And unsplash.com is where photographers from around the world have sent their best photographs. And you go to unsplash.com, you type in Paris, Texas, and you'll get images from Paris, Texas. You type in Paris, France, you'll get images for Paris, France. I wanted a blue yellow background. I found that on Unsplash. You can find all sorts of backgrounds. Download the background, upload it to XSplit VCam, you can use it. The thing here is that you should acknowledge by going on the website as you're downloading it, just tweet it out. That's what I do. And that's a win-win situation because the photographer is getting publicity and you're getting known for actually using wonderful images. Okay, and it's a great way to actually post on Twitter and to show people beautiful photographs, which subsequently end up as your backdrop. Now just back to the camera for a moment. Okay, and we're back to the Logitech C920X, and I said the Logitech C920X includes a 3-month license of XSplit VCam. I've been using it since 2019, and it's absolutely brilliant. Now we said that you can actually fit the C920X on top of your monitor by bringing down the ledge, and it just clips over the back of your monitor. It stays there. Alternatively, what you can do is you can take your trusty tripod, which we're meeting again, and on the bottom of the camera, you have a thread, and you can, well, I'm going to do it now while I'm talking. Okay, you basically just take the tripod and you screw it into the bottom of the camera, and lo and behold, whilst you're talking, the camera is now on a tripod. You'd have to adjust it, obviously, but that tripod you can position anywhere on your desking, so this camera can now work at any angle you like. I know some people who use this for a shot looking forward from behind. Absolutely brilliant. So this is in summary. I've had this 6 years. It still works. It's a solid piece of equipment. The latest version, as we said, that's down in the carousel is the 31st of March 2020. And you get 3 months of XSplit VCam if you get this camera. Great gift, great gift. Okay, so I'm going to untwizzle this. If you've got any questions at all about anything that I'm talking about, yeah, I just want to show that I can do 2 things at once. Men can multitask, you know. There is the tripod and there's the camera, and I'm going to put the camera. Camera's got about a 6-foot cable, so it will go from the top of your monitor over to your PC. Now, just a word, having shown you that camera, okay, and having shown you the background removal software, there are several different background removal softwares. Okay, BeLive, in fact, has its own background removal software. Okay, and there is XSplit VCam, there's MMHMM. There is more than Ecamm have got their own as well. Okay, StreamYard have got their own. Yeah, they all say that you can actually use their software without a green screen. Yes, you can, but, and here's the but, if you don't have a green screen, you may get an outline of your face showing. Okay, you may get your hair blowing in a non-existent breeze. You may lose a finger or two, or the web in between your fingers. Okay, now my acid test of any green screen software is to actually move your fingers about. Okay, that's that. If you can see 10 fingers, then it's pretty good software. The other thing is, if there's no line on your head, then it's pretty good software as well. And you've got to set up the lighting. Let's do an experiment. I'm going to go for broke here. This may or may not work, so hang on to your hats for a moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my hard drive, go over to artwork, and I'm nearly there. So I'm going to go to Realized, and I'm going to load up a background. Okay, now I'm not set up for this, but I'm going to do it just to show you how easy it is. I've got an image on my hard drive, and this point, because I want to come back to you, and this is a green screen. Okay, and this is built into my studio. Now, the reason I don't have a green screen when I'm broadcasting on Amazon Live is this. I was asked the other day, why don't you have a green screen removal software when you're broadcasting on Amazon? You can see the reason why now. If I go here and switch it off. The reason I don't have background removal software on when I'm broadcasting Amazon Live and I'm demonstrating product is that I can't demonstrate product, because the background removal software, it gets confused by the image, by the objects I'm showing. That's why I've got the green screen behind me. But if you have a green screen, then the quality of your background will be improved. And over to Rome again. What's Spider-Man's? Right, okay. If you've read Rome's joke, all well and good. What's Spider-Man's favorite camera? It's a webcam. Okay, and we're talking about webcams, so that's very apt. But if you've not got a green screen, then the background with software will work. But you may have the line around your head, you may have your hair bright. If you use a green screen, then you're going to get near perfect. And sometimes, if the lighting's right, people won't be able to tell the difference, and you can be anywhere in the world. Paris, Texas, Paris, France. Yeah. Okay, so that's the green screen. And okay, what we're going to do now is I'm going to look at the action part of it. You are watching. I'm going to come back to Logitech Brio camera in a minute, but you're watching Lights, Camera, Action with Stephen Healy, and you're watching me live from Wiltshire in England. And thank you, I want to say, it's here, I think. I hide that. And I want to say thank you for watching me. I do appreciate you spending part of your day with me. If you have any questions at all, then please do ask. Okay. Now, the next bit I'm going to go on to is, because you're watching Lights, Camera, Action, is the action part of this. Okay. And down the carousel at the moment, you'll see a Fitbit Inspire 2 at $68.95, which is 31% off. Now, I do know that after my broadcast yesterday, 5 Fitbits were bought. I don't know who bought them, but I do know 5 Fitbits were bought because, well, hopefully because of this section you're about to see now, which is all about Fitbits. This is the Fitbit Inspire 2. And just a reminder, it's on discount. If you click link in the carousel, you go to the Fitbit page, you'll find all the Fitbits. You'll find this Fitbit, and this is the bracelet it comes with. This is the strap it comes with. It's black, but you can get, there are designer straps that you can get. You can have the color of lozenge can be changed, and the color of strap can be diamante if you want. But on a serious note, this is the way in which I keep fit. Okay, weight wise and movement wise, this Fitbit tracks what I do every day. First thing I do, beginning of the day, is put my Fitbit on, and then I start walking. Now, if you just walk around your house, you'll do 2,000 steps. 1 mile equals 2,000 steps, and you'll do up to 2,000 steps if you don't go out the front door. Once you go out the front door, you're starting to exercise. We went out for a walk before lunch today, because I'm 5 hours ahead of you, and we walked into the town centre of Devizes. And if you've been watching since the beginning, you'll know what it looks like. So it's about a 1.5 mile walk there and back. So it's 3,000 steps, and that's basically put us up to 5,000 steps for the day. So it doesn't take much to go out the door and actually start walking wearing your Fitbit. And it measures how many steps you do each day. And it resets at midnight, and it starts the following day. It goes on your wrist. It simply fastens just like a watch. It is a watch. Okay. It is a step counter. It is a heartbeat monitor, heart rate monitor. You can actually log things, and I'm going to come to that now, because the first point I want to make about this, if you pay $68.95, you're buying into your own fitness and going out every day to do a walk. Now, back in December, my partner Angelica came up with an idea, and the idea was that every day in 2022 we should go out for a walk out the front door and just walk. Doesn't matter whether it's 1 mile or 3 miles, every day go for a walk. That way you're staying fit. It's very simple. Yeah, go out the door, go into town. Now that's 1.5 miles. Go out the door, go on the canal, walk back 2 miles. Okay, so we can do it on our doorstep, and it doesn't take much, and it's great because we do it just before lunch. Yeah, we go for a walk before lunch. It calms us down from the morning session. We get some fresh air, and we're ready for the afternoon after lunch. Okay, and this Fitbit is measuring, but Fitbit is owned by Google. Yeah, Google Fit. Google own Fitbit. The thing is that when you pay and buy for a Fitbit, that's a one-off fee. There are no recurring fees with a Fitbit. One-off purchase. And then everything you get after that is free. I'm going to show you what you get for free when you buy a Fitbit. We're going to go over to share a screen. Okay, and I'll get it working in a second. And I'm going to share a tab. It's going to come up in my studio, and I'm going to go over here. I'm going to select Fitbit, and we're going to show you basically all the free stuff that you get with a Fitbit. Okay, now with some Fitbits, this is Fitbit.com, owned by Google. This is my own personal dashboard, which I'm showing you. So this is live. I'm showing you this so you actually get an idea of. I'm going to hide that because we don't need that anymore. Just a moment. I'm going to give you an idea of what the Fitbit can do for you personally. I'm just going over to the comments and I'll continue. I wear my Fitbit around my neck. Oh, Rome's got a Fitbit too. I try to get my 6,000 steps a day. This is it. You're in control. I mean, let's go back to, Rome's just posted. He does 6,000 steps a day, which is a healthy number of steps to do. 3 miles a day is 1,100 miles a year, which is an amazing distance. 3 miles a day adds up, and it's the best way to actually keep fit. It's the easiest way. Yeah, you just walk out the door, put your shoes on, put your trainers on, you're out. Okay, so thank you, Rome. The first thing about Fitbit.com is there is a community. Top left, you can see 2 people together. There is a community on Fitbit.com. Now, they already have one thing in common. They all own a Fitbit, and they all want to use the Fitbit to get fit. So basically, you can connect with people on Fitbit who are using Fitbit to stay fit. Yes, I think that's right. But the thing is that everything is free, and there are individuals who you get to know who organize challenges. Now, I take part in 2 challenges a week. I take part in a weekday challenge and a weekend challenge, Monday through Friday, and then you on Saturday and Sunday. And the idea is that you're competing against each other for who can get the most steps in that period. Yeah? Now, I'm never going to be top, but I'm also not going to be bottom. I make sure that I'm somewhere in the middle. And that's enough, because what happens is you take part in a challenge, which is free, and you go out the door and you walk 2 miles. The people on your challenge know that you've just walked 2 miles. They can see it because you've made your Fitbit information available to them by joining the challenge. They can see you've walked 2 miles. What happens? People congratulate you on walking the 2 miles. You're getting a support group who will cheer for you every time you go out your front door. They want you to walk. They want you to succeed. They want you to become top of the league. Okay. And every time you do something good, you get a well done from somebody who actually means it and has got to know you over a period of time, because you can chat privately. You can do a whole range of community things as you expect. But the 2 challenges, the weekday challenge and the weekend challenge, are the key to being fit. Okay. Because if you take the challenges, people are going to spur you on. Now, the next one, as you can see, is the moon. And if you wear your Fitbit overnight, then it will measure your sleep. It will tell you incredibly, once you're asleep, you're sleeping, you wake up, and then you go back to sleep again. And then you wake up and you go back to sleep, and then you go into dream sleep, and then you come out of dream sleep. It will measure your sleeping pattern. And if you wear your Fitbit to bed for 4 consecutive nights, it will give you a suggested routine to actually improve your sleep. Now, I am not a medic. I'm not giving medical advice. It could improve your sleep if you follow their recommendations. Okay. I trust Fitbit. They're owned by Google. Now, next bit of information is what's the maximum number of steps you've done in a day? And my personal dashboard is saying that I've done 60,000 steps in a day. Quick bit of math will tell you that is 30 miles in a day. That's the best I've ever done. And I did it because I got a medal for it. I know I did it. I walked from Avebury to Stonehenge, which is 26 miles, 385 yards. I couldn't run a marathon. I'll never do a London marathon, but I can walk 26 miles. And every time I walk 26 miles, I get a medal. And I've got 7 of these medals on the wall. So I can say without fear of contradiction that walking is the way to fitness. And if I can do 60,000 steps and you're walking fine, then you can do 60,000 steps too. It's just a matter of training, working up to it. The next one shows you your weight, okay? And I don't have any weight to lose at the moment. But it will track your weight, so you can actually record your weight. In addition to that, you can keep a food diary. You can record your food and your water every day, and it will tell you how many calories you're burning using the Fitbit, how many calories you're consuming from what you eat. So it's the way to balancing your diet. All include, this is everything I'm telling you now is with the Fitbit, one price. You pay the price in a carousel, and all this is free for you to use. Okay, let's carry on with our Fitbit journey and come down here. And if I go to the bottom here and go see more on the web, I'm just hoping that button works. It does, yeah. On the web, you can see how far you've walked today. So you can see that I was out and I've done 1.83 miles today. So for 4,000 steps, I can see how many steps I've done this week, this month, and this year. And you can see the days I was ill as well. Okay, but this is the one I'm interested in. This is the steps this year. And in the last 12 months, I've walked 828 miles. We said that if Rome carries on walking, he will do 1,100 miles in a year. I want to get to 1,000. So my target is to actually get to 1,000 miles a year. I'm on my way. All I need to do is to up the number of steps I take every day, let the Fitbit count them. This Fitbit, personally, this is my 4th Fitbit. I've been using Fitbits for the last 8 years. I buy a new Fitbit every 2 years because they keep updating them. The Inspire 2 is part of a range of Fitbits, and it's got some Fitbits have got GPS and all sorts of whizzy things. This just counts the steps, monitors your heart rate. You can record your food and water, and you can record your steps, and you can set yourself targets and take part in challenges, and all that's free. Okay, which is probably why, after watching the show yesterday, 6 people bought Fitbits. So thank you if you're watching again today. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen and come back to me. Okay, so Fitbits, I'm going to take the medal off now. Actually, being on Amazon Live, this is the only time I get to wear my medal. So in terms of walking, I walk every day. Angelica walks every day. We've got the competition going between us. I think Angelica's ahead at the moment. She's walked more days than I have. And I'm happy for Angelica to be. Angelica's taking part in a 1,000-mile challenge. Okay. And just to tell you a story, Angelica's been doing the challenge for 5 years now. And in her first year, the idea is to do 1,000 miles over the year. And we were flying to Germany, and we flew on the 26th of December. And just as we were going up the steps to the aircraft, Angelica passed 1,000 miles in December. Having done that, she set a target for the following year to actually do the 1,000 miles by November, which she did. You know where I'm going with this. The following year, October. Year after that, September. And last year, Angelica finished 1,000 miles by August in 8 months. So there you go. Keeping fit by walking, I can heartily recommend. I can recommend. And also, Rome recommends. Rome's got a Fitbit as well. Okay. Fitbit Inspire 2, which down the carousel, $68.95, normally $99.95, 31% off today. Okay, now we're going to go back to cameras because the name of this show, as you know, is Lights, Camera, Action. We've done the action bit, we've done the Fitbit bit, and we're going to go. You can't hear my echo dot, so I can't go there. I'm going to go to Logitech Brio. Now, you're actually watching me now, and I am broadcasting with the Logitech Brio 4K webcam. I'm going to tell you about the webcam. Then I'm going to show you the software that controls every Logitech camera. So coming up, how to use the software, where to get the software from, what the software is. You can use any Logitech camera, just take it out of the box, plug it in. Yeah. But there's so much more you can do. If you download the software, you've got total control of the camera, and I'll show you exactly how to do that in this section. Now, as you know, my first camera, I can't show you the Brio because it's working at the moment. My first camera was this one. Yeah, it was C90X. And it still works today. It goes up, when it's not starring on my Amazon Live shows, it's actually attached to my second PC. I got the Logitech Brio camera because the Logitech Brio camera is ultra 4K HD video. This is the highest quality video we can get. So forget your 720, forget your 1080. This is 4K. This is the best quality that's available. Now, I can't show you the Brio at its best because I'm broadcasting to Amazon Live today at 720p. We've got 720, 1080, and 4K. And 4K is awesome. We can broadcast in 4K to YouTube, and I did this a couple of weeks back. You can broadcast to YouTube using the Brio camera if you use OBS or vMix or XSplit Broadcaster. Those 3 pieces of software will allow your camera to run in 4K and to broadcast to YouTube in 4K or to record locally in 4K. you can produce 4K video. Now, there are a growing number of 4K websites. Yeah, but at the moment, Restream, BeLive, Wave don't do 4K video. The reason we can't do 4K video yet is we don't have the internet infrastructure to be able to do it. Yeah, 720 is brilliant because broadcasting at 720 is friendly to mobile phones. I'm not sending more data than I need to. The higher the number of pixels, the more data we send, the more expensive it can be. Although, having said that, if you're using OBS and broadcasting to YouTube, the whole thing is free. Okay, and you can pay higher than that if you want, higher than free. But it is. I went over to broadcast to YouTube, and the quality of the video is just stunning. It's night and day. The quality of the video broadcasting to YouTube from OBS or vMix, absolutely stunning. Yeah. Now you've got to have. I've got to be honest here. You've got to have a Ninja PC. I've got a Microsoft Surface Book 2. Okay. So if your computer is 2 or 3 years old, no worries. You can use the Brio 4K and you can broadcast out to YouTube. Yeah, just test it. So Ultra 4K, which is absolutely stunning. We talked earlier about the microphone. It's got a noise cancelling microphone, which means you can't hear all the sounds around you, which is pretty good. And it cuts out any background noises. If I switch off, this is a true test. If I switch off my Logitech Litra light, which is down in the carousel, I'll go darker, but my Logitech Brio camera, which is on the monitor above me, yeah, will compensate. It will do auto light correction. I'm going to switch my light back on again. You get used to working with lights and you know it's going to be the same whatever time, night or day. The Logitech Litra light will light you perfectly. The field of view is how wide the camera can see, and I'm going to show you the different fields of view, 65, 78 and 90. I'm going to show you the software in a minute as soon as we get to the numbers. It's 4 times the resolution of a typical HD webcam. True, it's 4K. Yeah, which is the highest definition practically we can get to. It's got the light adjustment is actually called Logitech Right Light, and it's got 3 fields of view, 90, 78 and 65. I'm going to explain what that is all about now. Okay, as we go to the software, I'm going to screen share. Just give me a second. I'm going to screen share. Hopefully this will work. I'm going to go there. I'm going to come here. I'm going to go there and go there and share the screen. That worked. Okay, so what I'm going to bring on the screen now is a piece of software which is related to Logitech Capture. If you've any Logitech Capture, any Logitech camera, you can download Logitech Capture, and Logitech Capture will, in fact, control any Logitech camera. At the moment, it's controlling my Logitech Brio. So I'm going to take it off full screen and go side by side, like so. Right, so this is what the camera can do. When you've got the software, you don't need the software, but if you get the software, this is what you can do. So I'm controlling the software on my desktop, and the first thing I'm going to do is on the right-hand side, I'm going to zoom in. So that's zoom, zoom, and zoom. Okay, so I'm zooming all the time, and then I'm going to come back to me. I promise I'll be back to me in a minute. I just wanted to show it you. But along the way, I want to highlight this. Okay. If you zoom in too closely, my voice is going. If you zoom in too closely, you cut off the top of your head. Now, I've watched a lot of Zoom calls where people are not aware of how they look on camera and they cut off the top of their head. It's not a good idea. It's distracting. It is really distracting. What you should do is this. When you're zooming in and out, you should make sure that you've got headroom at the top of the frame. 1, got headroom. 2, you should position yourself towards the center of the screen. Don't go off to one side of the screen. Again, that's distracting. Try and be in the center of the screen. The other thing is that when you're on live video, don't move about too much. Okay, now this is not so you can get a rest. This is practical. Every time you move, you've got to send more data. Every time I raise my hand, you're getting more data than you did before. Every time I put it down, every movement I make means a change in the data, because the way this works, it takes a picture of how you look now and it compares it. It's high-tech stuff, but if you can get, we used to play a game called Statues, or my mum did. She said, right, if you play Statues and don't move for the next 5 minutes, you can have a treat. If you're presenting on camera, try and be statuesque. Okay, you can move, but don't bob about. Okay, that's just a personal bugbear when people get too busy on screen, hopping about or dancing. Okay, so Zoom I can use. The other thing I can do, I'm going to change the screen display so you can see this a bit better, because the next section deals with, okay, so no side by side again, but I'm widescreen and I can still come here. Yeah, but I can, if I go here, you can see that using the software, I can move to the right, I can move to the left. Yeah, I normally never get this back to where I want it. Okay, right, okay. You can tilt up and down, okay, and get yourself back to the position you want to be on screen. Okay, in addition to that, and this is where the 65, 78 and 90 comes in. This is a 90-degree view, and you can see more of my office now. If I put myself full screen, with a 90-degree view, you can see the chess set, you can see start of the books, you can see the back wall, you can see the shelving. And a lot of people broadcast like this, and it is all about personal choice. This is a 90-degree view. In other words, this is what you get if you download, if you buy the camera and don't download the software. This is the setting you get. Once you've got the software, then what you can do is you can zoom in to 78 degrees. Okay, and I'm getting close to the camera, or to 90. Now, I think that 90 is too close to the camera because I want to be able to show you things. So I settle for 78. So my camera is set at 78 degrees. Yeah, that's basically the best way to do it. This is all about you. This is about you being comfortable on camera. Right camera, right settings, right lighting, and it's all personal to you. And the only person who can set it up is you. You can experiment. Yeah, don't be afraid to experiment. Do a local recording so you see how you look. Yeah, and try the various lighting settings, try the various camera settings. That's the way to do it. Record it and watch it back. Okay, those are the physical movements. So I can zoom in, I can pan left and right, I can tilt up and down. I can vary the angle, 65, 78, 90, showing more and more of my background. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to go to the Advanced tab now by clicking the Advanced tab on the software, not on the screen I'm broadcasting on. I can vary the brightness. I can turn the brightness right up, or I can turn the brightness right down. You can't see me. Neither of those are good settings. Always come back to, going back here using the software, which is Logitech Capture, and I'm coming back to 49, 51. How close can I get? I want to get, it is persistence pace, 49, 49, 46, 50. Right, okay. Get it back to 50. 50 is the default. That's always pointing out. 50 is the default. You can change the color intensity. I can go bright red, which is not a good look. I could go sepia, which might be a good look, or I can go back to 50%. Okay, so let's go back to 50%, and we're going to get there. I've gone over. I'm too bright. I'm not that red. I know I've been out in the sun today, but I'm not that red. That's my normal skin tone that you're actually seeing now. I can change the contrast up and down. I can turn the contrast down. I can turn it back up again. That's not good. What you want to be, say it with me, what you want to be is round about, and we'll get close, round about, slightly more, 50%. Okay, auto white balance is useful, and at the moment it makes me redder, so I don't want it. But those are the camera controls in the software, Logitech Capture. Go to logitech.com, type in Logitech Capture. You can download the software and you can then use it to control any Logitech camera. If you've got more than one Logitech camera connected to your PC in your broadcast, this software, bottom right corner, you can see this is controlling the Brio. If I click the drop down, then it can control the C920 or 922, 925 or 270, depending on which Logitech camera you've got. This software, Logitech Capture, I'm going to stop sharing screen now. The software Logitech Capture will control any Logitech camera. You bought the camera, the software is totally free. And just a reminder, as we're talking about, the Logitech Brio camera is today 158.07, which is 21% off. And Rome's probably outdoing his 6,000 steps. As I say, Rome's actually broadcasts on Amazon Live. There are a lot of us now. If you go to, are you watching me live now? I want to say thank you. If you go to the top of the page, then there is basically the opportunity to actually browse who's live. And if you follow people, if you're enjoying this broadcast, please do follow, because then you'll find me again. Okay, that's the whole idea. And you're building up your own Amazon Live TV channel with all your favorite broadcasters on it. To us as broadcasters, it is important. I'll tell you for why. Every 30 days, Amazon take a look at what we're doing and decide what to do with us. Okay. And the more followers we've got, the better our standing with Amazon. It's as simple as that. Now, the service we're providing you is free. It's part of Amazon.com. And we enjoy being here and sharing our expertise, but we don't work for Amazon. And if you can help us to improve our well, how Amazon look at us, then just pressing follow is the best thing you can actually do. If you can't do that, then just comment. Okay, but thank you for watching live today. And you are watching, just a reminder, as we come up, and I'm going to go off my cheat sheets and back to my main menu and say that this is Lights Camera Action, and you are watching Stephen Healy live from Wiltshire, and I am broadcasting using BE.live. Okay, I work for BeLive, and BeLive is live broadcasting software, web-based, 8 people on screen, YouTube video. You're seeing everything today. You've seen YouTube video, you've seen images, you've seen text on screen, you've seen scrolling, you've seen lower thirds. Okay, I'll just give you an example of a lower third. Okay, just for a second. Let's take a sideways leap. I'll switch the logo off. Okay, so the logo is disappearing. And I'm going to go to overlays, and I'm going to click this overlay, this one. Oh, wait a minute, the logo didn't disappear. Where'd it go? Right, so the logo's gone. Okay, and you can do lower thirds, you can do overlays within BeLive as well. And just to note that BeLive, the engineering department for BeLive, is actually based in the Ukraine. And I want to say thank you to everybody who works for BeLive in the Ukraine for actually continuing to run the service in current circumstances. I know that they are slowly returning to Kyiv, having had to move, but they are slowly moving back. So shout out to everybody in the engineering team in Kyiv, in the Ukraine. Stay strong. I'll take that off now. Okay. So remove the overlay. Okay, so that was just to give me a moment. So Be Live and the Ukraine. I'm just so grateful that I can continue to broadcast. Okay, so you are watching. Let's just go down here. I just want to bring this up on screen, and I'm going to go picture in picture like this. I create all my graphics on Canva. This graphic, the image at the back, is from my garden, from my wild garden, and these flowers growing in the garden. I asked Angelica to take a photograph. I then went over to Canva and added the remainder of the features. So Canva is a great program to use for design. Okay, and I designed the whole of this in Canva. This broadcast is about webcams, audio gear, microphones, live video, and Fitbits. I'm broadcasting from be.live. And I'm ever so grateful that you're watching me live today. Okay, now at the beginning of the show, I actually showed you this. I'm going to hide that and put this on. Okay, I'm trying to switch something on. It won't let me. Okay, now we're good. Now I'm going to shrink myself because I want to tell you a little story. And if I go here, then I can shrink myself. The other thing I need to do, I noticed the other day watching somebody else's broadcast, and if they're watching now, they'll know who they are. When they were showing a second camera. Okay, there are two of me. This is live. Okay, the camera that you're watching to the left of me is the Obspot Tiny, which is down in the carousel. And the Obspot Tiny is my new favorite camera. So I'm going to highlight it now. Okay, this is the Obspot Tiny. It's highlighting my demonstration area at the moment, and you can see the iPad that I use for broadcasting. I'm going to move that out of the way. You can see, I'm just going to go through this, the Logitech Litra light that we spoke about earlier, which is the first light that Logitech have produced. It's the first item in the carousel if you want to take a look. If you catch the replay of this broadcast, it's the first item I actually talk about. It is a $60 light that is lighting me today, and you can use it 24 hours a day, and it's absolutely first class and the first light from Logitech. So congratulations to them for designing such an effective light. You also see, you can't hear this, an Amazon Echo Dot, which I need. You'll see a 4-way USB from Anker, which is down the carousel as well. You'll see the TP-Link Deco. This is the best Wi-Fi system that I and my friend Peter Stewart have found. And over here, you've got the two plants and my Be Live mug, because I work for Be Live. And then the Aftershocks earbuds, which are also down the carousel. But the reason I'm showing you this is because I'm showing you the Obspot Tiny camera. And you can still hear me, but the camera you can see is the Obspot Tiny. I'm going to use the Obspot Tiny software. I'm still here. The Obspot Tiny software, bring it down to me. This is me. Okay, and the camera you're looking at now is the Obspot Tiny. Now, as you may have guessed, the Obspot Tiny allows you to have presets. This is the first thing about it. It allows you to have presets. So I can switch from being where I am now to my desktop. Okay, I can have different levels of zoom. Okay, so I was 2 times zoom. The desktop is 125% zoom. And I can zoom in just by using the controls. Yeah, I can zoom in and out. So I could zoom in on the TP-Link Deco, white cylinder there. Or I can come back to me. Or I can go to the wall. Okay, and that's a picture of Avebury Stone Circle. So I'm going to be honest here and say that this is the most fun I've ever had with a camera. The Obspot Tiny does much more than your standard camera. It mounts on top of your monitor. It's got a magnetic mount. It has a shut-off facility, and you're watching it now, so there's no greater testament to what it can do. You're actually seeing it. But I want to just go through its main features. And it is officially called, let's take its name off there. So I'm going to take its name off if I can. Just a minute. Okay, I've got that off. It is officially called the Obsbot Tiny PTZ camera. It's down in the carousel now. And it is, as you will see in a moment, it is an AI-powered PTZ camera. PTZ, pan, tilt, and zoom. PTZ. Okay, it can do all those from a piece of software. It's a full 1080p camera, which means it can do 720, which is what I'm broadcasting to you at right now. In addition to that, it's got dual omnidirectional microphones. Remember, if it's omnidirectional, it can hear everything. It has a 90-degree field of view, like the Brio. I'll give you a direct comparison in a moment. I'll put them side by side. And it's got low light correction. And in addition to that, it's, as I said, it's AI-powered PTZ. It's got a privacy control. You can put it also, it's got a sleep mode. Yeah, so if you say, if I don't use it for 10 minutes, switch off, it will. And it's got 3 presets. We've just seen the 3 presets. And it's got low headroom mode. I'm going to show you that now. Basically, we said earlier that when you're presenting yourself on screen, you want to have room above your head, because if you go like that, yeah, that is not a good look. You want to have headroom mode. So this camera preserves your headroom mode. And it's the most fun I've had with a camera for this reason. I'm going to show you live now. Whenever I do this, my fingers and toes, no, they're not. This is very reliable system. Okay, if I squirrel like that, okay, I'm going to take that title off. Just let me take that title off. And I'm going to come back to me. Okay. The thing I like about the Obsbot Tiny is that as I move, it's the Obsbot Tiny camera. He said, just a minute. I love it when a demonstration goes perfectly. Just a minute. I have to come back now. Let me sit down. Let's need to do something. This is one of those. All right. Okay. We're off now. Okay. If something goes wrong during a live demonstration, do not panic. Just wait for things to sort themselves out. So the first thing about this is it's actually tracking me. As I move about the office, yeah, the camera auto tracks me and keeps me in focus at the center of the screen. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. And I love, I'm going to get closer to the camera so you can actually see. I love the fact that the camera will track you wherever you walk and give you the headroom. Yeah. Now this has teaching. Well, you can actually use it for teaching. You can record a class. You can turn the Obsbot Tiny upside down and you can record a lecture on camera or broadcast it live with the Obsbot upside down on a fixing on the wall. And it's brilliant for that. It's also got a fast action mode. And if you've got somebody doing the 100-yard run, you can track them, or the camera can track them from beginning to the end of the race. Now, I just need to do something. You can see it's following me everywhere. I'm just going to go to my desktop. Okay, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back. Okay, so it's got the tracking built in, and all of this is software driven, and I just love it. It's the most fun. I come back to my other camera, and I've frozen. Okay, just a second. It looks like I'm going to go to the Brio again. Okay, right, my first camera has decided to freeze. Okay, it must know. I'd like to say a big thank you for actually watching me on Amazon Live today. I totally enjoy every time I appear on Amazon Live. I'm back again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow for 2 hours. If you've got any questions about anything that I talk about, then please do ask. If you want to start a conversation, tell me where you're from. This resource is specifically for you, to help you and to give help and advice. We are independent advisors, independent broadcasters. We don't work for Amazon. We'll give you an honest review and answer the questions that you have. In my case, about live broadcasting, about cameras, microphones, anything to do with live broadcasting, I'm here to help. This has been Stephen, live from Wiltshire in England. Back again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, and I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye for now.